In the middle of the sea, far from crowded cities and watching eyes, islands often feel like paradise. They're surrounded by endless water, promising beauty, silence, and escape. But history tells us a darker truth. Some islands became perfect hiding places for organized crime. Isolation created power, silence protected killers, and the sea erased evidence. Tonight, we dive into true stories of mafia crime that unfolded on remote islands, places where the law struggled to reach and fear ruled the land. Our story begins in Sicily, Italy. Sicily is not just an island. It is the birthplace of one of the most feared criminal organizations in history, the Sicilian Mafia, also known as Cosa Nostra. In the late 1800s, Sicily was poor, ignored by the government, and ruled by local strongmen. These men offered what they called protection to landowners and villagers. But that protection always came with a price. Refused to pay, and violence followed. Over time, these groups became families, mafiosi bound by blood, loyalty, and fear. The island's geography helped them survive. Mountains, remote villages, and the surrounding sea made escape easy and police access difficult. By the 20th century, Sicily had turned into a battlefield. In the 1970s and 1980s, a brutal internal war broke out inside the mafia. It was known as the Second Mafia War. Hundreds were murdered. Bodies disappeared. Some victims were dissolved in acid. Others were never found, lost forever to the sea. Judges, police officers, journalists, anyone who dared to challenge the mafia became targets. Two men stood firmly against this darkness: Judge Giovanni Falcone and Judge Paolo Borsellino. They understood the risks. They lived under constant protection. But in 1992, the mafia sent a clear and terrifying message. Falcone was killed by a massive bomb planted beneath a highway near Palermo. Just weeks later, Borsellino was murdered by another car bomb. The explosions shook the island, and for the first time, Sicily screamed back. But Sicily was not alone. Across the Mediterranean lies Corsica, a rugged French island known for its beauty and its bloodshed. For decades, Corsican mafia groups operated quietly. Unlike Sicily's open violence, crime here was silent, calculated, and deeply connected to politics. From this small island, criminals controlled drug routes, weapons trafficking, and assassinations across Europe. Bodies were often dumped into the sea. Witnesses vanished. In Corsica, people learned one simple rule: say nothing, see nothing, survive. The island's isolation made investigations nearly impossible. For many locals, fear was stronger than justice. Now, we cross the ocean to Cuba. In the 1940s and 1950s, Havana became a playground for American and Italian mafia bosses. While tourists danced and gambled under bright lights, criminals ruled behind the scenes. Famous mobsters like Lucky Luciano and Meyer Lansky transformed the island into a massive casino empire. Drugs, prostitution, and money laundering flourished. Corruption ran deep. Police were paid off. Killings were covered up. Victims disappeared into the sea or into unmarked graves. For the mafia, Cuba was perfect. An island full of pleasure, safely distanced from American law. But paradise never lasts forever. In 1959, the Cuban Revolution changed everything. Fidel Castro shut down the casinos. Mafia assets were seized. Crime bosses fled the island almost overnight. Some escaped, some vanished, and some were never heard from again. The sea, once their greatest ally, became their final witness. Back in Italy, even smaller islands played dark roles. Capri and Ischia, luxury islands famous for tourists and celebrities, were quietly used by the Camorra, the Neapolitan mafia. Behind five-star hotels and ocean view villas, drug deals were made. Money was laundered through tourism. Enemies were invited to these islands and never returned. Here, beauty became a mask for crime. So why islands? Because islands isolate. They limit escape. They limit witnesses. And they create silence. When everyone knows everyone, fear spreads quickly. Speaking out doesn't just risk your life, it risks your family, your home, your future. For organized crime, islands are not prisons. They are fortresses. But history shows us something else. Even in places surrounded by darkness, resistance rises. In Sicily, citizens marched. Young people rejected mafia culture. Judges continued the fight. The same sea that once hid crimes began to reflect the truth. These are not movie stories. These are real crimes, real blood, real islands, and real people who lived and died between land and sea. The ocean may erase footprints, but it never forgets.